Okay, what's going on? Welcome back to the World's Gone Mad podcast. I'm Garry Butterfield. It is July the 13th, Monday, 10 a.m. I'm in my humble little studio here in Adelaide, South Australia, and I want to talk about some coronavirus lockdowns, Melbourne, the second wave as they're calling it. Now, I said to some of my friends that while it was all pretty much dead here in Australia, there was nothing happening, nothing going on. They're talking about reopening everything. I said, just you watch. They will need a second wave. A second wave is going to come. And they looked at me like, really? It's pretty much dead. I said, think about it. They need a second wave. How are they going to sell us a virus? How are they going to sell us a vaccination and keep tracking us and keep putting in more surveillance if they don't have a second wave? They thought I was nuts. The very next day, they start talking about a second wave coming out of China. But anyway, I want to talk about the stuff that's going on in Melbourne. Last Saturday, residents in Melbourne who lived in these 2 apartment blocks in Melbourne, they get up Saturday morning and they're not allowed to leave their apartment complex. There's armed guards, armed police at the bottom of their apartment complex telling them they can't leave, they can't go anywhere. They're on lockdown for 2 weeks because of coronavirus outbreak in their apartment blocks. They can't go anywhere for food, care, work, nothing. Nothing. They're not even allowed out of their house. And if they do, they get fined. Think about that. You get up Saturday morning, no notice, and you can't even go anywhere. What if the day before, what if Saturday is shopping day for your fortnight? You know what I'm saying? And no, just they weren't allowed to go anywhere. That is unheard of. That is unheard of in a so-called free country where you're supposed to be able to do not what you want whenever you want, but you know what I'm saying. It's not China, it's not Russia, it's not North Korea, but these people were not allowed to leave. Crack on with some screen recording. I thought that was wild. I thought that was the most craziest shit ever. Here in Australia, you're being told you can't go anywhere because of this so-called, for your own good, this virus is breaking out, right? So I'm so glad I live here in Adelaide. It's pretty much the best state in the world at the moment for getting on with things. I mean, I've been training jiu-jitsu for 2.5 weeks. I've been actually touching other humans and none of us have died. 2.5 weeks, no one's died. Actual physical contact, trying to choke people, you know, and no one's died. Isn't that crazy? But in Melbourne, it's a different story. So that lasted Saturday, Sunday, and I think Monday, that whole apartment block was on lockdown. They since locked down a whole bunch of other suburbs of Melbourne, but not to that level. It was to the level like the rest of Australia where you're allowed to go get food, care for someone, work, or care. So there's now a whole bunch of Melbourne suburbs on lockdown for 6 weeks. Why 6 weeks? I thought the virus needed 2 weeks to incubate. Yeah. So why 3 times as long are you locking people down for what it's meant to be? It's so crazy. And now if you jump on news.com, it is all about the second wave. Dramatic surge. ADF base in lockdown after pub visit. Nightmare. Staggering US infection surge. Women gave 71 people virus in 60 seconds. It is all about the second wave. They are really selling this second wave. Isn't that crazy? Like how are people so scared of this virus? They bang on every day. There's 200 cases in Melbourne that have popped up today. The highest day ever. So what? Like, check this out. 108 people have died in this country. 108 people have died from coronavirus in this country since January. 108 people. It's now July. Check this out. 160,000 people die in this country every single year of other shit. 160,000 people die in this country every single year of shit. But no one cares. No one talks about it. No one's talking about all these other things that you die of, that you're more likely to die of in this country than coronavirus. In 2017, the leading cause of death for males was coronary heart disease. 13% of all males that died in this country died of coronary heart disease. So why not? Why is the narrative, lock everything down, you need a vaccine to be healthy? Why isn't the narrative, why isn't every single headline on this news page not how to look after your immune system, take your vitamins, get vitamin D, exercise, look after your body? Why is it always, you got 0.26% chance of dying of coronavirus? 160,000 people die in this country of other shit. You are way more likely to die of other shit in this country than coronavirus. But yet, they somehow think it's okay to lock down the entire economy. Lock down people from state to state. Look at this shit. Ridiculous attempt to cross border cost 6 Victorians $24,000. A ridiculous attempt by 6 Victorians to cross the Queensland border in a bus cost them big time after cops foiled their plan. A busload of Victorians have copped a $24,000 fine over an audacious attempt to cross the Queensland border illegally. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? You can't go interstate because of 100 people have died of this flu? What the fuck is going on? And there is plenty of articles like this. There are so many articles of handing out fines for your own good. It's for your own good. We're going to give you almost a $30,000 fine for your own good. For your own good. Isn't that crazy? And you remember that fucking, what was it, the coronavirus, what's the app called? The COVID Safe app. There was a lad, let me find the article, that proves that the app is fucking bullshit and does nothing. Where are we? Where are we? This dude had the COVID Safe app. Him and his work colleagues had this COVID Safe app. One of them went to the gym, came in contact with someone else who had coronavirus. They all got coronavirus. Days later, the app has told them nothing. No information, no nothing. I thought I was supposed to download that app so I didn't kill everybody. It turns out they're trying to track you. They're trying to trace you. They don't give a fuck if you've got COVID or not. And how about that company giving the $50 million kickback to look into the app to make sure it was all legit? What about that? How come none of that shit ever makes the news? I mean, I can't find the article now, but it doesn't even matter. The fact that you get COVID, you've got the COVID Safe app, you come in contact with someone else that's got the COVID Safe app, and fucking nothing happened. No one's contacting you going, oh, you better stay safe, you've been in contact. No, not happening. Crazy. So what a surprise. The COVID Safe app doesn't work. Coronavirus, Victoria will regret not enforcing harsher lockdown. Why? Because 2 people have died. Since this so-called second wave has kicked off here in Australia, that they are pushing the narrative for, 2 people have died. 2 people have died. Someone died of a shark attack yesterday. Does that mean we should put the country on lockdown because water is not safe? Because there was a shark in the water. I could die. I touched water. I was drinking water. This coffee, it's probably got some water in it. What if there's a shark in my coffee? There's about as much chance as a shark being in this fucking coffee and eating my face off as getting COVID and fucking dying. I know that is the most ridiculous statement ever put out there on the internet, but it pretty much is. 2 people have died from coronavirus. One person died from a shark attack. That's only, yeah. You see what I'm saying here? People die of shit. Apparently, 160,000 people die of shit every single year. But for some reason, this year, 108 people have died from coronavirus. So we need to now lock you in your house. We need to cancel your business. We need to stop you going outside. We need to stop you from exercising. We need to panic buy up toilet paper. What the fuck's that all about? Is there an agenda going on? Is there a few people at the top set to benefit from mandating a vaccination that actually costs money? Whether you have to go to the doctor and pay for it directly, or you just paid for it with your tax dollars. The government are just going to give these companies the money. So there is stuff to be gained from these people just shoving these vaccinations down your throat. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. 160,000. Just think about that. If the only thing you take away from this video is 108 people have died from coronavirus this year. 160,000 people die of shit. Other shit in this country. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a single fuck. You don't lock down the country. I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to do this every single winter? I mean, it's winter now here in Australia. The flu's coming around. Are we just going to lock people inside and be scared of shit for the rest of our days now? What the fuck is going on here? Agendas, mandatory vaccinations and surveillance, tracking, AI. That is what's going on here, people. Wake up. 108 people have died in Australia from coronavirus. 160,909 people died in 2017 of other shit. Other shit. And we don't lock down the country for that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow me on social media. Hit up wgmpod@gmail.com if you would like to send in anything. Send me some topics. Send me some abuse. Send me something. But yeah, 160,000 people die in Australia every year of shit. 108 people have died of coronavirus. Think about that. I'm out.